I found out my own brother secretly drained $750,000 from our family trust, and it shattered everything. Nobody believed me at first. Not my parents, not my sister, not even close friends who thought I was just being paranoid. But I knew something was wrong. My name's Daniel Harper. I'm 34 years old, and for most of my life, I thought my family was solid. My parents, Evelyn and Mark, built a successful real estate business in Scottsdale, Arizona. They set up a family trust to protect our future and keep everything fair between my siblings and me. My brother, Jason, was the eldest, charismatic, charming, and always the responsible one in the eyes of everyone. Everything started to unravel one chilly November morning in 2022. I was going through some paperwork with our financial advisor, trying to understand the trust's current status. That's when I noticed it, nearly $750,000 missing. Gone. Poof. At first, I assumed it was a mistake. A bank error, a miscommunication. So, I asked quietly around. But the more I asked, the more silence I got. The family accountant acted like nothing was wrong. Mom and Dad brushed it off as some complicated tax timing issue. Jason? He avoided my calls. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Jason had recently been acting strange, always distracted, secretive. Last Christmas, he'd asked Dad for a big loan, which Dad denied. Yet, somehow, Jason had been living in a luxury apartment downtown and driving new cars. I decided to investigate on my own. I started by going through bank statements, transaction histories, and emails, anything I could get my hands on. And that's when I hit the first real clue: forged signatures. Jason had somehow faked Dad's signature to transfer money from the trust to private accounts. I remember sitting in my tiny apartment that night, feeling a mix of shock and anger. My brother, my own blood, had betrayed us all for greed. I confronted Jason over the phone, hoping for some explanation, some denial, but he just laughed and hung up. I tried to warn Mom and Dad, but they refused to listen. They couldn't accept that Jason, their son, could do something so hurtful. Everyone said, "Daniel, you're imagining things, or maybe it's just a misunderstanding." I felt isolated, like I was the only one fighting a battle no one else saw. As winter faded into spring, I kept digging. I found more evidence: payment receipts to shell companies, money wired overseas, even extravagant purchases like a private jet charter. The deeper I went, the clearer it became: Jason had been living a double life funded by our family's trust. The tension reached its peak when I finally confronted Jason face-to-face in March 2023 at our parents' house. I laid out every piece of evidence, every forged document, every suspicious transfer. I saw the mask slip from his face: anger, desperation, and then cold calculation. That confrontation sparked a fierce argument that shook the house to its core. Words were shouted, tears were shed. And when Jason stormed out, I knew nothing would ever be the same. The family fractures that had been hidden beneath the surface were now exposed. After that day, I took the evidence to a lawyer. We began legal action to recover the stolen funds and secure the trust's future. Slowly, the family started to rally around me, realizing the truth couldn't be ignored any longer. Jason was removed as trustee and faced legal consequences. Looking back now, more than a year later, the wounds are still fresh. But the truth gave me strength. It taught me that sometimes, the people you trust the most can betray you, but you have to stand up and fight for what's right. Our family isn't perfect, but we're healing, one step at a time. If there's one thing I want you to take away from my story, it's this: trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to dig for the truth even if no one else believes you at first. The truth has a way of coming out. And when it does, you'll be glad you stood your ground. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever faced betrayal or hard truths in your own family, share your experience in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal the hidden sides of real life. Until next time, stay strong.